So besides moving to Baltimore for work or school, what are the other things that draw people to living in Baltimore, Maryland? In this video, I'm gonna give you exactly that. I'm gonna give you 7 reasons that people move to Baltimore. And we're getting started with it right now. What's going on, everyone? It's Adam Taylor back again with another video all about living in Maryland. Today, we are looking at the specific reasons that people are drawn to Baltimore. Now, I can't take credit for coming up with this topic. I was on a Zoom call with Monique and Ramsey here recently, and Monique was like, hey, Adam, would you mind doing a video on what draws people to coming to Baltimore? So Monique, I am doing that exact video for you here today, and I've got 7, I believe. Yes, 7 key reasons that people are drawn to Baltimore. So let's dive into this and get started with number 1. So the first reason I think people are drawn to Baltimore is because of the history of Baltimore. Let's face it, our national anthem was written right here in Baltimore at Fort McHenry by none other than Francis Scott Key himself. It's the birthplace of Babe Ruth. Edgar Allan Poe has a museum here as well. Then you've got to look at the other things, the foundational things that Maryland and Baltimore are known for. Number 1, the Mason-Dixon line is probably a 25-minute drive from downtown Baltimore straight north. And this was the division line between the North and the South during the Civil War. Now, what's cool about that is that you can actually, because we were in the South, you can trace routes and houses that were used in the Underground Railroad. As a matter of fact, I myself sold a house that was part of the Underground Railroad. And guys, it was a cool but eerie experience. Like, they had this hidden cellar for slaves where they would hide them to get them to safety after the folks came through checking to see if they had any slaves in their possession and things. And it was really, really cool and a unique experience. So there's a lot of history around here regarding the Civil War as well as the Mason-Dixon line. And then the last thing that I think regarding history is, look, we are a 40-minute drive from Washington, D.C., and all the history and all the stuff that's going on in Washington, D.C. So if you are a history buff, you want to really dive in and learn more about our country, Baltimore's a perfect spot for that. And then guess what? We're just a short drive down to Washington, D.C., where you can check out tons more. Reason number 2 that folks move to Baltimore, it's the food scene. All right, let's face it. I mean, the food in here in Baltimore is pretty stinking good. Now, everybody thinks all we do is eat crab cakes and crabs and put Old Bay on everything. Well, only 1 out of the 3 is true. We do put Old Bay on everything. We put it on our corn on the cob, our crabs, our shrimp, French fries, you name it. People put Old Bay on it here in Maryland. So I will attest to that. But we definitely eat more than just seafood and crab. Baltimore's got an incredible dining scene. You all don't realize, because it really doesn't get that quote national attention unless you are in the food industry or restaurant industry. Would you know that? We've got Little Italy, which is just east of the Inner Harbor downtown, some fabulous Italian restaurants. Now, that's shortly connected by Harbor East, where some really schwanky, sort of hip restaurants are going in. Then you have Greektown. Greektown is fabulous for getting some Greek food. And then if you want something more eclectic, you've got Afghani food, Spanish food, Mexican food, head up to Mount Vernon. There's some really neat restaurants there, as well as neighboring Hamden. And even Canton, by the way, has some really cool spots. Now, that's just the food piece of it. You also have a big brewery scene as well as winery scene that's going on here in central Maryland as well. So if food is your thing, going to breweries or even going to wineries is your thing, you're gonna have tons to look at here in the Baltimore metro area. Now, before we jump into the rest of things here on reasons people are moving to Baltimore or what draws people to Baltimore, if this is your first time to our channel, number 1, I wanna welcome you. My name is Adam Taylor. I'm a local real estate agent here in the Baltimore metro area. And on this channel, we talk about all things Maryland. We talk about living here, working here, chilling here, and most importantly, opening that door, getting outside, and seeing all the great things that you can do here in Maryland. So if you're interested in learning more, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. It's the one that looks like the one right over my shoulder here. Don't forget to give the little bell a click. That way you're alerted every time we put out another video, just like this one. Now, as I mention all the time, my team and I, we are receiving phone calls, text messages, and emails from folks all over the world looking to make a move right here to Maryland, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move, we'd love to help. We are raising our hand to connect with you because we'd love to find you a great place to live here in Baltimore, but we just need one thing from you. We need you to reach out and connect with us, so please give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us an email, or better yet, schedule your own private one-on-one Zoom appointment using the link down in the description below. That way, you and I can hop on a Zoom call, figure out your needs, come up with a plan of action, and get you here to Baltimore as soon as possible into the perfect place that you've always been looking for. So with that said, let's get back into the video, and I'm going to give you these other items that are drawing people here to Baltimore. Now, reason number 3, it's probably one of my favorite reasons to come to Baltimore. It's the sports scene here in Baltimore. Guys, I'm telling you what, right now, as a Baltimore sports fan, we are loving life. Let's start out with the Baltimore Ravens. I got my cup here, drinking water out of it here today. Look, we were just footsteps from the Super Bowl, and quite honestly, if Taylor Swift wasn't involved, we would have been in the stinking Super Bowl. I do think part of the NFL might be rigged, but that's another video, another topic. Nevertheless, sports scene here in Baltimore is great. You got the Ravens of the NFL here, and then we also have, look, 101 win AL East champion Baltimore Orioles here. And guys, I'm telling you, this city is on fire. Our team is in first place right now. We are loving life as a Baltimore sports fan. Now, the cool part about living here in Baltimore, maybe those aren't your teams, but as I say all the time, look, in the pros and cons video I just recently did, I told you we're not too far from Philadelphia as well as Washington, D.C. So you might not find your favorite team here in Baltimore, but you're just a short trip up or down Interstate 95 to connect in one of those cities as well. So look, if you love sports, Baltimore's a great spot to get your fill of sports all throughout the state. Reason number 4 people are drawn to Baltimore. Guys, look, it is the cost of living in Baltimore. I just did a video. I'm gonna put it up right here. When you get done this, go watch this cost of living video. But you're gonna find that Baltimore is quite a bit cheaper than neighboring cities, like New York and Philadelphia to the north of Baltimore, or even, good grief, Washington, D.C. It's so flippin' expensive. Most of the folks that work in Washington, D.C., they don't live there. They live right here in the Baltimore metro area. So if you're looking to have access to these cities, but not pay the premium price, Baltimore's a good spot because, let's face it, DC is just a 40-minute drive, as I mentioned already. But if you need to get to Philly or New York City, we've got great Amtrak train service that can get you to points north as well as south if needed. And you know what? Keep a few bucks right in your pocket where it belongs. So if you're looking for affordability, Baltimore's a spot you really have to look deep into to make sure it's going to be the right fit for you. Now, reason number 5, you got to look at Baltimore and what's drawing people here. I think it's the entertainment scene. I told you about sports already, so let's take sports off the table. But listen, like the Baltimore music scene is off the chain. I helped Chris and Kate move here a few years ago. I've mentioned them a few times in these videos because they were such cool people to connect with. So Chris and Kate, you guys seeing this? Love you guys. I'm so happy to have you as friends now. But they moved here for the music scene. They are really into local music and they just love going to all of the different venues to check out the music scene here locally in Baltimore. And they still have the ability to get back to Washington, D.C., where they came from and check out the music scene there. So you're sort of getting the best of both worlds. Now, we've got some awesome venues to watch concerts at. Let's start out with Raven State, or M&T Bank Stadium, as it's called. They do some big shows. Like if a big act comes into town, Metallica, U2, have been some of the recent ones. I can't remember off the top of my head who they had there last year. I was leaving an Orioles game. Oh, Billy Joel. He was there last year. So the big stuff, they're putting it in M&T Bank Stadium or Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Fabulous venues to watch these acts. But you have places like Merriweather Post Pavilion or Jiffy Lube Live that's just down in Virginia that you could go on out to and check out as well. And then lastly, we have the Baltimore Arena. I think it's called CFG Bank Arena now these days, but that's always a spot where acts come into. Does need some updating, guys. Probably not the best indoor venue to watch a concert at. If you're looking for something a little more updated, you might want to head down to DC to check out a show, but that's part of the entertainment scene here in Baltimore, as well as a popular concert venue. Not saying it's the greatest one, but it is one that we have right out our back door here. Now, let's look at other things to do. Maybe concerts aren't your thing. You got little kids. Okay? You have the Maryland Science Center. Tons of stuff for kids to do. More importantly, they can get their hands on things and do experiments and become a part of sort of the experience at the Maryland Science Center. When I was a kid going there on field trips, I absolutely loved going to the Maryland Science Center. Now flip it across the harbor and look at the National Aquarium. This is a world-renowned aquarium right here in Baltimore that people come from hundreds, if not thousands of miles away to visit. And it's right out your back door. This is a big draw for people. So you've got the National Aquarium, the Science Center, and then the last thing downtown that I don't want to leave off here, because it's a significant part of Baltimore history, is the B&O Railroad Museum. This is because Baltimore was a railway capital of the country many years ago, and still is to this day, but the B&O Railroad Museum is a fabulous spot. If you head over there during Christmas time, you could do rides with Santa and all sorts of stuff. They have a fabulous train garden, so I highly recommend these things if you have small children. It will keep them occupied and make your life a little easier, and so that you can breathe, catch your breath, knowing the kids are having fun. But my friends, Baltimore's a great spot for entertainment. So I have two more great things to share with you about what's drawing people here to Baltimore. Before I give you those, if I could ask a quick and easy favor, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button down below. So one looks like a thumbs up. Reason I need you to do that, guys, here's my mission. I want this to be the #1 channel on YouTube about life in Maryland. I am determined. I will not stop until I am at the top. And heck, once I'm at the top, I'm just going to separate myself from everybody else, all right? I'm out here consistently delivering you the stuff that you want to see on YouTube, and I'm thankful for your viewership, and more importantly, extremely thankful for your support of this channel. So if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button down below. I greatly appreciate it. And more importantly, as I always say, look, I want this to be sort of a melting pot, a meeting ground where people can have open discussions about life in Maryland. Ask the questions like, hey, what's the deal with this? What's the deal with that? What's the good over here? What's the bad? And have a free discussion. And I want to be the guy that fosters that connection. So drop those questions, those comments that you have down below, because either myself, somebody on my team, or one of the other great Marylanders that watch this video will do our best to give you the answers that you are looking for. Now, trolls and knuckleheads, y'all need not apply. I don't need your nonsense on my channel. Look, people love this place, and I love this place, and I'm gonna show it, and it's gonna bleed through in the content that I bring you each and every week. So please, again, ask your questions down below. We'd love to help you out in any way that we can. So let's get back into the video. I'm gonna give you these last two reasons that people are coming to Baltimore. All right, reason number 6 people are drawn to living in Baltimore. It's the climate changes that we have. I've told you numerous times, we get all 4 seasons here. So we get a good winter, a beautiful spring, a hot summer, and an awesome fall season here in Baltimore. So if you like change in weather, some ladies like, hey, look, I have my winter gear, I have my spring wardrobe, my summer wardrobe, and then my fall wardrobe. You're gonna be able to have all of that here. Not just summer clothes or winter clothes. You're gonna have everything that you want in your closet is going to be used. Now, if you want consistency in the weather, predictability in the weather, this is not the spot for you. Because I've made the joke before, and Marylanders watching this know this is the truth. You can experience, the most I've had in one day is 3 out of the 4 seasons here in Baltimore in one day. It can be bitter cold, it can be snowing, and then, you know what, by the afternoon, it's sunny and 70 degrees. Kid you not, this stuff happens all the time, each and every year. So if you like variety in weather, a moderate climate, Baltimore's a good spot. You gotta check out, my friends. Reason number 7 that people are drawn to Baltimore, my friends, it's the people of Baltimore. Here's the deal about folks that are from Baltimore. I will say this, we are very proud of our city, and other Marylanders are proud to come from Maryland. I mean, we wear the Maryland flag on our gear, wrap it on our trucks. I mean, you see the Maryland flag everywhere. The people that don't like Baltimore are Hollywood, and people that are not from here. I would say 9 out of 10 Marylanders and Baltimoreans love living in this city. We stay here because we love it. We bleed Baltimore. Now, I've mentioned Monique, who gave me the idea to do this video. And she's living in New York City right now. And she says, you know what I really enjoyed about Baltimore? She's exploring neighborhoods, trying to find where they're gonna live and things. She said, I was just walking down the street and people will come up and say, hello, how are you doing? You know, how's your day going? And just greet her. Whereas the way she described it in New York City, no one wants to talk to you. Everyone just wants to keep to themselves. And Baltimore is a very, very social city. Okay, we've got tons going on, lots of events, lots of fairs, celebrations, tons is going on here, bringing people together. So if you're looking for a deep personal connection with people that are gonna open their arms and welcome you, Baltimore is a spot for it. It is a big melting pot of people from all different cultures, all different races. You're gonna hear all different languages spoken here. It's, again, a big big melting pot, my friends. So look, I just gave you 7 incredible reasons people are being drawn to Baltimore. Now, if a move to Baltimore is in your future, my team and I, we would love to help you find an amazing spot to live, but we just need one thing from you. We need you to reach out and connect with us. So please give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us an email, or better yet, schedule that one-on-one Zoom appointment that I told you about earlier in the video using the link down in the description below. That way we can hop on a Zoom call, get to know your needs, and come up with a plan to find you the perfect place to live. So my friends, that's all I got for you here today. Now I want you to check out this next video. This is gonna help you out, learn a little bit more about life in Baltimore. Until the next video, my friends, stay safe. Remember, my team and I have your back from Baltimore down the bay, all the way to the beaches in Ocean City. We have you covered. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.